Joining us now, the chair of the Democratic National Committee, Jamie Harrison. Jamie, thanks so much for joining us. As you know, Harris has unveiled what she's calling her opportunity agenda, targeting black voters today. But look at this. Hillary Clinton and Joe Biden both won black voters with margins of 85 and 81% respectively. But Kamala Harris's current margin is far behind that at 61%. Why is she polling worse with black voters? And are you confident these new policy proposals that she's unveiling can turn this around for her?
Well, Wolf, I believe in the end of the day, once this election is done, Kamala Harris's numbers with black voters, black men and black women are going to equal or not surpass what previous Democratic nominees have. You know, sometimes it's hard to compare apples to oranges, right? To the exit polls from the final elections and to look at where polls are today. Many times, black folks aren't polled as much as other groups. And so in the end of the day, I believe there's only one candidate in this race that actually has an agenda for black America, and that's Kamala Harris. And what this agenda that she rolled out today is a really great opportunity to begin building and focusing on the issues that black men really care about. It's about wealth, it's about health, and it's about freedom. And those are the core components of this agenda. It was great to see that today. Again, she's the only candidate in this race that actually has an agenda for black men. And that's because she has been talking to black men for months now, going around the country, having forums with them about the issues and the barriers that they have in terms of living the American dream.
You're in Pennsylvania, where President Obama delivered a rather impassioned plea message to black men, calling it not acceptable to sit out this election. Republican vice presidential candidate J.D. Vance writes this, and I'm quoting now: 20% of Latinos and 26% of black voters rate the economy good or excellent, but the Democrats go around hectoring them that anyone who doesn't vote for Kamala is a sexist president, is a sexist, period. President Trump is winning because he's listening to voters instead of lecturing them. How do you respond to that?
No, my response is, well, what does Donald Trump do and J.D. Vance do? They go around and basically say Haitian Americans who are of African descent are eating cats and dogs. My response is, Donald Trump has gone out to say, castigating Native Americans in this country, Latinos in this country, basically saying that they are poisoning the blood of this nation. And so these are folks who have borderline racist conversations about the minority groups in this nation. Those folks are not going to be with them in the end of the day. There's only one party that is fighting for the freedom of all Americans. There's only one party that is fighting to make sure that all Americans have a seat at the table. And that's the Democratic Party, led by Kamala Harris, who is our nominee. And so that's my response to J.D. Vance. Go and actually work with your constituents and stop lying on them, right? Work on their behalf instead of castigating them, making sure that the kids that are going to schools can't go because they're bomb threats, because you continuously lie and then you admit to the media that you're lying about them. So clean around your front door before you come clean around ours.
Vance is also backing Trump's suggestion that he would use the U.S. National Guard or the U.S. military to fight what he calls the enemy from within if riots were to break out in the aftermath of the 2024 election. What's your reaction to those words?
Well, it's sad, and it's just J.D. Vance and Donald Trump are really the worst that we see in American politics. You remember, Wolf, that when Donald Trump, the Central Park Five in New York, where Donald Trump accused 5 young men of color and basically said that they deserved the death penalty. And then when they were exonerated, he doubled down on that. He knows better. This is a guy who just recently said, well, let's give the police hours upon hours where they can do whatever the hell they want to do to beat down whomever. That's not who we are as a nation. We are a freedom-loving people. We are people who understand that there's a rule of law in this country, and that rule of law should be applied to everybody. But Donald Trump doesn't believe it should be applied to him or whatever he wants to do. That's not who we are as Americans. That's not what we want in our American president. And that is why, in the end of the day, Donald Trump and J.D. Vance are going to be spending more time in Mar-a-Lago than they will be at the White House.
As we all learned today, Kamala Harris will sit down with Fox for an interview this coming Wednesday. This is the first time she has ever done an interview with Fox. Is this a response to the tightening poll numbers? What do you think?
Well, I think it's Kamala Harris isn't afraid. She understands that when she's going to be president of the United States, she's going to be the president of all people, not just the folks who agree with her, with all of people. And we see that time and time again. She understands when a disaster happens, you don't just help the people in Democratic areas. You are the president of all people, and you help all Americans. Donald Trump has not understand that. Wolf, when's the last time he's done an interview with CNN or MSNBC? He's always on Fox and Sean Hannity so that, Hannity can give him, spoon feed him questions. But Kamala Harris has shown that she is going where all of Americans are. If that means going on Fox or on CNN, she's going to do a town hall with you all soon. On MSNBC, she's done interviews there. She's done interviews on black media. She has been all over the place. On late night, she goes everywhere. Donald Trump doesn't do that. He's scared. That's why he's scared to get on the debate stage with her again. We are focused on talking with the American people, and Vice President Harris has shown that she has the conviction, the strength, the leadership in order to lead this great nation.
DNC Chair J.B. Harrison, thanks so much for joining us.